Alright, so I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. I feel so played by Crunchyroll. Like, Crunchyroll, they played us. I'm gonna just keep it all the way. I'm gonna keep it 1,000, and I'm kind of upset about it. I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm mad. I'm very much so disappointed in what Crunchyroll recently pulled, because when you've been waiting for years and years for something, right? Like, you've been waiting for something to happen. You've been waiting for this time to come. And when it finally does happen, or you think it's gonna happen, it's not the way that you thought it would happen. Yeah, you're gonna be upset. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, Crunchyroll recently released the final episode of My Hero Academia, and obviously it was Studio Bones that produced it. Shueisha, of course, the higher ups are the ones that call the shots and whatnot, but Crunchyroll in particular marketed this thing as like, yo dog, the final My Hero Academia special is coming. You know, like, pretty much you're assuming, hey, they recently did that OVA of My Hero Academia, the, you know, more episodes, so to speak. So you're assuming it's going to be somewhere in that ballpark, right? Now, granted, this content was somewhat important. This content was somewhat special, so to speak, because this content takes place after the events of the end of My Hero Academia. So this isn't like, you know, before the ending. This isn't a prequel. This canonically happened after the events of the ending, where Deku gets the hero suit and he's supposedly a hero and all of that good stuff and whatnot. Like, that's where this takes place. But when I got to the episode, you know, I'm sitting down, you know, relaxing, feeling good. Like, yo, we about to enjoy this thing, right? We about to turn up, so to speak, to some My Hero. This is the last piece of content. This is supposed to solidify any last things that they didn't already answer or whatnot, because the more episode obviously gave you a little bit more of Deku and the whole Uraraka situation. All of the stuff from the last chapter that wasn't even serialized in the original run gave you all of that aspect. So this was supposed to just give you a little bit more insight into, well, where are things at? Where is Deku's hero level or whatnot? Is he included in things? What is happening here? Oh, and before we continue, subscribe and hit that bell to get all notifications, even if I'm upset, you dig? And the main problem about this, you know, finale, this special, this episode is, dog, it was like, what was it, like 6 minutes? Like, 6 minutes? What? Yo, bro, what? I'm gonna crack one off before 6 minutes. You telling me 6 minutes? I ain't gonna lie. I was just like, when the episode ended, I was there baffled a little bit. Like, that's it? This is what you deliver? After all this time waiting for this final piece of the puzzle. This is going to be it. This is going to be where, you know, it happens. And that's what y'all give me? You. If I had to blur that out, or if I had to censor that, so be it. But one more time, I'm gonna say it. We're gonna do this twice. You. Waiting all this time for this piece of this finale, where this is supposed to be, you know, fam, come here. You're here with us now, fam. This is the ending. And this is what y'all give me? Go to hell, eat rabbit, fuck jackhammers, fuck you motherfuckers for what you've done. And I mean this wholeheartedly with every ounce of me. Fuck you. Whew. Now many might be saying, yo, Tim, Fornever, you're exaggerating, bro. It's really not that serious. It's serious, buddy. Because this episode reveals a couple of different things. I'll give it that. The 6 minutes that they give us, 6 minutes in heaven, or I don't want to say hell, but the 6 minutes of enjoyment that it did, bro, it answered one major question, and that was the fact of Deku's hero ranking. Deku's hero ranking was a very big question of, well, where he's going to be after the fact, after he got the hero suit. Obviously, everybody would assume, you know, because of the whole message that the anime original stuff added in, of Deku would be the #1 hero. But this thing, once again, clarifies that Lemillion is #1. I want to say, what was it? Mount Lady was like 2 or 3, somewhere around there. Deku is the #4 hero. The righteous, the kind-hearted, the best-hearted person in the entire series, the person that risked it all, took everyone's pain, was essentially an empath to the entirety of the room itself. Took everyone's pain and suffered in absolute anguish. And he becomes the number 4 hero. And granted, you know, some people somewhere are giving him his props. You know, the news reporter and whatnot is giving him his props and saying like, yo, he's accomplished so much ever since he got back in the arena, the one for all hero. And you get to see, you know, the whole collaboration thingy-majig there with Bakugo and Todoroki, and how he's helped to better Bakugo as a person, and it allowed Bakugo to reach higher ranks. Bakugo is number 5 now, I guess, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Shoto is above them. I want to say was Shoto number 2. Regardless of what we see, where things landed with some of the characters, some of the cast, we also get to see again a little bit more of All Might, Aizawa, what is homie's name? Microphone dude. I know people are gonna be like, how could you forget his name? Yes, because he's the most important character in the world. I'm supposed to remember his name. Now let me stop hating. But yeah, regardless of what, you get to see a little bit more. In particular for me is like, oh, more of All Might. My, you know, honestly from the very beginning, my favorite character. Outside of like, you know, of course you like Deku, Todoroki's cool and all that stuff, but All Might was always my favorite character. If that makes you feel a type of way, go fuck yourself. That was always my favorite character, and till the very end, like, yeah, it was a little bit disappointing when he lost his powers, even though he still was on some godly stuff that without his powers he put on the suit and still try to go out there and help his student. So always gonna praise All Might, but that was always my favorite character. So to get a little bit more of him, and just kind of like now that he's the vice principal, so to speak, that was pretty dope. Although admittedly they kind of like, I don't know what they was doing with that art style or whatnot. It's like, yo bro, that's All Might, put some respect on homie. Like personally, I'm always gonna just be like the biggest All Might fan, and it is what it is. But still, like, the anime was just like, I don't know what y'all were doing right there with All Might there, buddy. And I say that with love. So yeah, those were the main scenes that for the most part were important, because the episode, the premise of it is Eri, this is, you know, a few years later, Eri has shown up looking for Deku. He's not there, and you know, All Might is basically saying like, oh, you know, he's not here or whatnot, and then them looking at the news, and then Eri putting on a performance, performing a song, and you know, kind of just having her moment. And the song was basically about like figuring out and the unknown of what you're supposed to be in life. So I thought that was a cool message, and it was also dope to see that from the rafters, so to speak, from like a faraway distance, Deku ended up going to watch her thing, because yeah, he still valued her, even though, you know, all the circumstances that happened back in the days. Deku still was watching from afar alongside with Mirio, Bakugo, like, you know, they were still showing support or whatnot. So it was a cool little thing. But again, considering this is it, there's nothing else. My Hero Academia, until they announce another movie, until Horikoshi actually cares, because he's clearly moved on. He's already just put out that one shot, Don't Laugh Shijima-san, perfect timing around, you know, the Eri special coming out. So it was like, good job on that aspect of what he did there. But until we get more from this thing, like, this is it. No more My Hero Academia anime. There's nothing left to animate. We got a big thing of the number 4 hero, and you know, small aspects there, but 6 minutes, bro. I'm sorry, I don't care if I'm harping on it too much. Go fuck yourself. 6 minutes. Let me know what you guys think. If you watched this thing, if you know, experienced it, were you disappointed when you saw the episode run length, or when the episode finished and you were just there baffled, like, it's over? How did you feel? Do you feel like Deku not being the number 1 hero in the end, even still after he was managed to become a hero again and got the suit and was able to do all this, he ended up being number 4? Regardless of what, that number 4 is one of the greatest, hardest people ever. His heart is one of the greatest, strongest, and he's one of the best people ever, because of everything that he shouldered, taking everyone's freaking problems and their pain and carrying it like a true warrior. Shout outs to Deku, Izuku Midoriya. Getting a little emotional here, because this is really it for My Hero Academia's anime, and for My Hero Academia as a whole, not even just anime. Until Horikoshi decides to do something again, My Hero Academia is over. This is it. It's been one heck of an experience, many years in the making coming to this point. If anybody's been around for my original stuff, thank you for sticking around for this journey of My Hero Academia. But yeah, it's over. It's a laugh for this one. I'm ForneverWorld. Tim, as always, people, have an awesome day. Peace in. Wow. This is it.